Hello, my name is Emily Prosser, and for this paper I looked at Adelie penguin ecology and the effects of climate change on population trends in Antarctica. The Adelie penguin depends on sea ice for foraging, resting, molting, and migrating. Adelie penguins feed on Antarctic krill and crystal krill, which live on the underside of sea ice, and Adelie penguins often use sea ice to trap their prey while they are foraging. Adelie penguins will use ice floes to rest or molt in the open ocean and to remain out of reach of predators like seals. Even though sea ice is crucial to Adelie penguin survival, it can be detrimental if it is too extensive. Adelie penguins rely on polynyas, which are areas that remain ice-free or contain significantly lower ice concentrations, for breeding, and condensed sea ice near shore can reduce chick survivorship. Because Adelie penguins have long lifespans, about 20 years, they may be limited in adapting to rapid climate change. Penguins rely on foraging areas where prey are abundant and predictable, which requires relatively stable environmental conditions. Studies have shown that past Adelie populations are more likely to respond to environmental changes by dispersal rather than remaining in the same location and adapting. This causes local extinctions and colonizations can be observed in the poleward shifts and range contractions of Adelie populations in the northern parts of their Antarctic range. Increases in temperatures have also caused shifts in sea ice extent, which can play a major role in Adelie penguin survival. The purpose of this paper is to review the literature on Adelie penguin ecology and the effects of climate change on population trends in Antarctica. I searched for relevant peer-reviewed articles using the search engine Web of Science and the keywords climate change, Adelie penguin, and Antarctica. I selected articles from the search results based on their abstract and relevance to the topic. Scientific studies have shown contrasting trends in Adelie penguin populations throughout Antarctica. This is because colonies in different locations respond in various ways to the environmental effects of climate change. Adelie penguins migrate from their summer breeding grounds to areas north of the consolidated ice pack or south of the open water for winter, where they need to reach optimal foraging grounds. During these different periods, Adelie penguins experience different pressures and require different habitats. Colonies found on the Antarctic Peninsula and populations in eastern Antarctica and surrounding the Ross Sea respond differently to environmental changes due to climate change. Populations of Adelie penguins found in the Ross Sea and eastern Antarctica are showing large increases in population numbers, unlike other colonies found within Antarctica. Research suggests that harvest-induced competitive release, a release in competition due to the elimination or decrease in a competitor species, and warmer temperatures may account for the increases in numbers. Over the past several years, a new fishery has emerged in the Ross Sea, the industrial fishing of the Antarctic toothfish. This is seen to have a positive effect on Adelie penguin populations because it has decreased a major trophic competitor population. Both Antarctic toothfish and Adelie penguins feed on Antarctic silverfish. By reducing Antarctic toothfish populations in the Ross Sea, prey abundance may have increased, causing a growth in Adelie penguin populations. Because populations in eastern Antarctica and the Ross Sea experience cooler climates than Antarctic Peninsula populations, the warming temperatures due to global climate change may have had a positive effect on Adelie penguin populations in this region. Studies have shown that northern populations are migrating south in search of food, which may also attribute to increases in population numbers. Climate change has brought stronger winds and warmer temperatures to the Ross Sea, which create more predictable coastal polynyas. In addition, Adelie penguins require ice-free areas in order to nest and raise chicks. Warmer temperatures in the Ross Sea have caused glaciers to retreat and snow patches to decrease or vanish during the summer months, increasing available breeding habitat. Even though these areas are experiencing warmer temperatures and are seeing an increase in Adelie penguin populations, certain environmental factors can still have a negative effect on population numbers. Adelie penguins require ice-free areas near breeding colonies for nesting, and too much ice can be detrimental to chick survival and health. Adult Adelie penguins will often put their needs before their chicks in times of stress, and will abandon nests in search of food. Too extensive and concentrated sea ice near shores lowers breeding success because breeding adults have to walk, rather than swim, over consolidated ice sheets. This creates more energetically costly foraging trips and lower chick feeding frequencies. After the breeding season, adults and younger penguins will then travel to winter feeding grounds, which requires a lot of energy. Mortality is highest during this time due to low temperatures and extensive ice sheets which impede access to food. If there is too much sea ice while penguins are traveling to the wintering grounds, they may not be able to reach their destination, resulting in starvation. When returning to the summer breeding grounds, too much sea ice may also cause delays, which results in lower body condition and a delay in breeding. Unlike Adelie penguin populations found in eastern Antarctica or surrounding the Ross Sea, populations located on or near the Antarctic Peninsula have shown large decreases in numbers. Researchers have found that changes in temperatures and the abundance of Antarctic krill due to climate change have both played a role in decreasing populations. Adelie penguins require different habitats for breeding and wintering grounds, and penguin age classes respond differently to changes in the environment. Increased precipitation due to climate change has had a negative effect on chicks due to increased exposure to rain or snowmelt. Even though these areas are experiencing an increase in temperature, increased exposure to rainfall or snowmelt causes the chicks to get wet and can amplify thermoregulatory costs, which can then reduce growth. Climate change may also have a negative effect on breeding synchrony among nesting seabirds on the Antarctic Peninsula, including Adelie penguins. Zygoscalid penguins have many similarities, including breeding habitat, clutch size, and diet. However, differing arrival times at the breeding colony allows for coexistence. Gentoo penguins do not migrate away from the breeding colony and are therefore able to arrive first when the temperatures begin to rise. Adelie and chinstrap penguins, however, are unaware of conditions at the breeding colonies where they arrive, which puts them at a disadvantage. Studies have shown that on average, Adelie penguins arrive 2 days earlier than Gentoo penguins, which allows them to secure suitable nesting locations. However, recent observations show that Gentoo penguins arrive earlier during warmer years, which will put Adelie populations at a disadvantage as temperatures continue to rise. This interaction is known as climate-induced compression and will cause an increase in competition for resources in coming years. Antarctic krill populations also play a crucial role in the health of Adelie penguin populations. Antarctic krill, the primary prey species of Adelie penguins on the Antarctic Peninsula, have seen a decrease in population numbers due to a decrease in sea ice in this area. Not only does this lower prey availability, it also increases competition for predator species among other penguins and top predators in the food web. For instance, Antarctic krill are a key prey species for humpback whales, which are increasing along the Antarctic Peninsula, possibly resulting in a negative effect on Adelie populations. The lack of available prey has put a stress on breeding populations and has caused colonies to continue to move southward to more suitable feeding locations, which has led to an increase in local extinctions. After reviewing the literature surrounding Adelie penguin ecology and the effects of climate change on population trends in Antarctica, it is likely that warming temperatures and changes in habitat will have a negative effect on Adelie penguin populations. Studies have shown that colonies around the Antarctic Peninsula are experiencing a decrease in population numbers due to a decrease in food availability, such as Antarctic krill. Colonies found surrounding the Ross Sea have seen opposing trends and are benefiting from climate change. Warming temperatures have increased available habitat in breeding colonies, and an introduction of a commercial fishery has decreased competition for prey species. However, because Adelie penguins have responded to environmental changes through dispersal rather than adaptation in the past, populations may become habitat limited in the future. As temperatures continue to rise and summer pack ice disappears in northern Antarctica, Adelie penguin populations may be forced to migrate to southern colonies, which may become the last refuge for Adelie penguin populations. Therefore, breeding habitat along the Ross Sea may increase, but penguin populations may immigrate to these colonies, which will also increase competition. Because populations in eastern Antarctica and the Ross Sea experience cooler climates than Antarctic Peninsula populations, the warming temperatures due to global climate change may have had a positive effect on Adelie penguin populations in this region. Studies have shown that northern populations are migrating south in search of food, which may also attribute to increases in population numbers. Climate change has brought stronger winds and warmer temperatures to the Ross Sea, which create more predictable coastal planias. In addition, Adelie penguins require ice-free areas in order to nest and raise chicks. Warmer temperatures in the Ross Sea have caused glaciers to retreat and snow patches to decrease or vanish during the summer months. The following 2 slides contain the articles that were used in this paper. Thank you very much for listening.